Hello everybody, welcome back to Campfire Wisdom. I want to take a moment to thank all the men and women, all the firefighters that are doing their best out here in Los Angeles, trying to stop all these crazy fires that are going on. Firefighting is a brutal job in and of itself, and you haven't had any help from the weather, the winds, all that kind of stuff. So I just want to say thank you for keeping me and my family safe. I appreciate all the work you do.
Welcome to Campfire Wisdom. Grab a seat around the fire and tell us your story.
I think you notice we're doing things a little bit different here. So I've just finished probably a bunch of takes wondering if I've got what I wanted to get, and I'm realizing that like all of this like trying to be precise and all this nonsense is actually kind of exhausting and kind of robbing me of the experience of just connecting with you. So with your permission, I've got a few notes here that I'd like to hit. I'm not going to read them verbatim, but I would just like to make sure that I hit on them because it definitely came from me, but I think trying to generate it in like a pseudo scripted response seems disingenuous and doesn't seem like me. So I hope you like a new setup. We're gonna play around with it here a little bit. Got my handy dandy water bottle. I've got some props over here that we're gonna talk about here in a little bit. Yeah, why are we here? Well, I started Campfire Wisdom 7 years ago, and the intention was to catalog our camping trips. Super simple, right? Oh, I want to remember the stories that we tell each other and look back in it, share with my kids, my loved ones, and just have it for myself, right? Well, as time has gone on, things have changed dramatically in my world. I've got kids now, I'm married, I'm starting a new career as an educator, and spending time with my family and with the kids at school, I realized that there is an absolute huge opportunity here to not just share my experiences, and kind of leave it at that, but maybe to take it to the next level with my kids. I don't know, maybe get them involved at some point, but I want to catalog all these adventures. I want to my kids are 4 and 6, so they're at that age where they're just like, they're sponges, right? They will soak up anything. They want to do stuff. They want to be with me, right? And that's not going to be something that's going to happen forever. So I want to take advantage of that time and go adventure and go do stuff. So part of that whole adventure thing is to kind of, in some ways, create it, right? I've camped before. It was me. Then it became my wife, Gisela, who went along. And it was just us, right? We could throw a few things in a bag and go, and it wasn't a big deal. We could be spontaneous. But now, adventuring, like as a family, it's way more complex, right? We need to think about things. We need to think about our setup. Do we have enough room for the kids? Do we have enough food supplies? Do we have sufficient gear if something were to happen? So part of that is actually exciting for me because we are starting from scratch. I have everything that I need to camp by myself. I could go in a heartbeat. In fact, my car, as some of you guys may remember some of the things I filmed in the past, my car has I've got a hammock in the back, I got a hammock sleeping bag in the back, I've got a sleeping bag, I've got everything I need that I could camp anywhere at a moment's notice. But I couldn't do that with my family. I don't even have a car that would really suit us well. We do have a 2018 Subaru Forester, but it's just not big enough. And especially as the kids get older and bigger, we're gonna outgrow that thing quickly. So part of the whole thing here, this is like a video journal of like how we get back into the adventure of camping as a family. So I'm really excited about that. So for us, camping, obviously you need something that's going to give you access to the outdoors, but you also need something that's going to carry all your gear. And I really am a huge proponent of the EV movement right now. I have a Prius. I have a 2014 Prius, best car I ever owned. It's 10 years old, got 150,000 miles on it. I still have the original brakes on it, if you can believe that. On my life, I still have the original brakes. They're 60/40. I don't even need to replace them. It's crazy, but thank you, regenerative braking. Anyways, that car is great, right? But I want to take it to the next level. I've been thinking about like, oh, do we go with a truck like a Toyota Tundra, Chevy Silverado, something like that? But I can't go from 45 miles a gallon back to 25, and then I feel like, especially in California, right on the cusp of this entire EV movement, and I think it would be irresponsible to not try to push that agenda forward, right? Vote with our wallets, right? So part of this whole conversation and deciding our setup and what we're going to do is talking about the various vehicles that are out there in the EV market, kind of getting a little bit closer to what I might want. I do have some favorites in the category, I do, as cheesy as it may sound. I did pick up this Matchbox Rivian R1T, and if you will permit me, I think we'll do a little bit unboxing here. So I didn't just pick this up at like Thrifty, but it didn't break the bank, I promise. So all right, let's check this out. I'm usually a Hot Wheels guy, but they only had this available in Matchbox. All right, so let's take a look at this. This here is the Rivian R1T, sorry. What year do they say this is? They don't, just Rivian R1T. Okay, so this is not the color that I would go with. This is kind of like a forest green, kind of like the color of these trees here. I would go with what they call El Cap Granite. Just kind of, well, it's kind of like the gray on the other side over here. Okay, anyways, the wheels are nice, but anyways, this is kind of what I'm leaning towards. I just got to make sure that that's the right choice for the family, but this is going to have to suffice as my R1T for now, if that's the path I go. All right. One really good thing about having this conversation now and starting it before we've really invested in anything is I can share kind of the choices and things that I'm thinking about, the important things where like lessons I've learned through my own camping, necessities that I'm going to need to have as a family of four, and then basically maybe that conversation will spark other people to get into it as well. There's a lot of things to think about. Like I know, obviously I've talked about trucks, but are we thinking about a trailer? Are we thinking about a larger trailer? Are we thinking about a pop-up trailer? Personally, I'm a huge fan of the pop-ups. When I was a kid, we had a Dodge van and we towed a StarCraft pop-up trailer. And it was such a fantastic time. I have such great memories. The beds were amazing, comfortable, and just with my brothers and sisters and parents, those are memories that I will never forget, and I'm hoping to create that with my kids. But maybe we go with a pop-up trailer. Maybe we don't do a trailer, we continue to tent camp. Personally, I do like tent camping. Something about being on the ground and connected to the ground, and like literally waking up and seeing the stars in the middle of the night and just lulling yourself back to sleep is just nothing like it. But there's also new EV trailers coming out. There's one called the Light Ship and the Pebble, and they have this technology where the biggest bitch of towing a trailer is like getting the trailer on your hitch, right? It's got this thing, Magic Hitch. You just drive it around, and basically with an iPad, you control the trailer and drive it and set it right on your hitch. It's amazing. I want to talk about fitness. I'm a 50-year-old dad. I got young kids. So I'll probably be talking a little bit about that, like what I'm going through, what's been helping me, who knows. Marriage. I'm a married guy, and I love my wife, and she's the best thing that's ever happened to me. Like, honestly, she's talented, she's beautiful, she's opinionated, and the best thing is if I ever fell in battle, she could pick up my sword and start swinging it. So at some point, I'd like to get her on here. There's this little thing that we do where we make notes about the funny things our kids do, and then we kind of just create a voice memo and just talk about it so we can kind of remember that. But this would be kind of another way to kind of make sure those memories live on forever. I've always been a fan of MMOs. The first one I ever played was EverQuest, and there are stories of me, I mean, this is in my teenage years, but falling asleep at the keyboard. And I'll let someone else tell you that story down the line. But always been a huge fan. I just like the fact that they put you in this world and you're experiencing that, right? Well, that fascination led me to create a documentary film. My friend Alex and I started filming in about 2004 when the World of Warcraft launched. And basically, our movie, we called it AFK, Away from Keyboard. I'll link it below. But we follow a group of friends as they, download the game when it first comes out. We follow them for 7 years and just basically follow their experiences both in real life and in Azeroth. So I still do play the World of Warcraft. I love it. Blood Elf Paladin for the Horde.
Your faith is strong, Paladin, but will it falter in the darkness?
Remember the sun well. From time to time, I'll probably be talking about the World of Warcraft. I don't play as much as I would like to, but I do get a chance to tank a few dungeons here and there. So I am a tank. I play Paladin. So if you need a tank, let me know. Gear, right? We got to talk about some of the cool gadgets that are out there that I'm interested in. And I thought that today would be a good time to talk about one of my favorite gadgets and give you a little story to go along with it, because I do like telling stories. So this right here is a mini mag light, and I was gifted this mag light many years ago by my dad, and I don't know if you can see this. My name is etched into this. So there was a period of time growing up where my dad was obsessed with an engraver. So literally he engraved everything. So this has been a fantastic flashlight. This is 127 lumens, so it's old. I think I got it in, I'm not even kidding you, probably the mid to late 90s, but it has officially died. So there are 2 AA batteries stuck inside of there, and the base of it's all corroded. I have tried everything in my power to get them out. Obviously, puncturing a battery is not a good thing. I've banged this thing. I don't even know what to, right? Can't get this thing out. But my wife thinks she can save it, so God bless her. If she can, that would be amazing. But I had to replace it, right? You can't be without a flashlight. But there are so many cool flashlights out there, so what do I get? I get the exact fucking flashlight, right? Because this is an awesome design, and this mofo is 332 lumens. This shit is fucking bright. Ooh, trip out the camera a little bit. But this thing's amazing. It's my favorite color, gray. And yeah, I love this thing. So I think this was like 30 some bucks on Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. But this has the LED, as opposed to, this is an original lamp. I don't know for those of you guys who are nostalgic about it, but it had that original lamp that's stored in the cap, and you could just take the bulb out like this with the 2 prongs and then put it back in. So pretty cool. Anyways, I'm sold on this big thing. So if you need a new flashlight, I would love to hear the flashlights that you guys are into, because there's some people I know that's their obsession. They basically collect flashlights. So pick up one of those flashlights. I'll actually put a link in the comments, or not, wait. I'll put a link below. I'm new to this, sorry. So we got that. I do have my campfire. Obviously I'm not gonna have a campfire in my garage here, but the spirit of the elements will be with us. As I was thinking of a closing for this episode, I was remembering on my birthday, on my 50th birthday, I got this text about a quote that David Bowie said, and it was something about like, oh, it's the best time of my life right now. It's like, I'm so glad and so honored to be 50. Like it was a badge of honor, like having earned it, right? And I kind of feel the same way. I don't feel 50. I feel younger, right? Maybe I've always felt young at heart, but I was kind of trying to look for a quote. So I didn't find that exact quote, son of a bitch. And it was probably fake, right? This was on like some social media thing. Probably someone made it up. But there was a couple of good quotes that he did have. And I am going to read these because I don't want to mess them up, because we're quoting an individual here, right? And see, I'm using glasses now too. So David Bowie said this in a BBC interview. So aging is the extraordinary process whereby you become the person you always should have been. I like that. So gratitude for obviously aging and being where you're at. And continuing that interview, he said, the older I get, I realize that I like telling stories. I'm a storyteller at heart. I like to take people on a journey. So honestly, nuts and bolts, that's kind of why we're here, right? I hope you join me as we kind of figure this out together. What's the setup? What are we going to do? Where are we going to go? What kind of vehicle do we need? How are we going to make it happen? Because that's basically part of the adventure itself, right? So until next time, I hope you get a chance to get outdoors and wake up beneath the stars.
Campfire Wisdom is brought to you from the hills of Rancho Cucamonga. We'd like to thank the men and women that protect our national parks and forests. You make this journey possible. Theme music by Sean Cromwell.